Hey there, YouTube. Are you happy to have me back?
No.
Well, anyways, I just finished my year straight stream goal, so that's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna get into 2 times a week YouTube uploads from here on out while we're doing the 4-ish times a week streams. So we're gonna get that going. Today's video is going to be me ranking each quarterback in the NFL, starting quarterback or otherwise. I'm going to be ranking them depending on how good they are individually, not based on their career or anything up until now or anything like that, or any of their accomplishments. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, and this will be the first of 2 uploads this week. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey there, YouTube. Let me preface this by saying this is a tier list for NFL QBs, so that can include backups, rookies, such and such, and I'm not going by like what their career accomplishments are. I'm going by what I view their individual abilities as. If you put them on a 500 team that is just missing a quarterback, how good they would perform based on their own physical and or mental abilities. Currently, not like, this isn't going to be about how many championships they won or what they've done in their career. It's about today, if they were put on a team and they had to lead them, what do I view their skill set as individually? And other than that, I mean, let me preface this by saying I am not a football expert by any means. I'm a former athlete. I played basketball my whole life. I played a little bit of football. I'm pretty good at football, but let me preface this by saying this is my opinion. This is by no means a fact at all, but yeah, hey YouTube, let's get started. So the first person on our list is somebody that, I mean, I grew up with, and his careers kind of went on and on. They didn't do very well last year, but again, we're not doing this by the past. We're doing this about how I feel about them going on a team, like a team that just needs a quarterback. I would have to put him in the good for now, because I definitely don't think he's a backup or a possible starter. I'd have to put him in the, he's like between good and great for me. Because he's had Julio and he's had weapons, and I mean, what is he really missing besides like a defense? And what has he done like by himself? I mean, he had an MVP season at one point, but how many years ago was that? Like 4 or 5 years ago? I'm gonna put him in good for now. He's gonna be like our baseline. This, I believe, is Chase Daniels. I don't know what his thing is. I haven't seen him play in a while. I mean, he's been in the league, and I haven't seen him play in a while, but I mean, that's a good thing, right? If your backup hasn't played in a while. I'm gonna keep him in good backup for now. Maybe possible I wouldn't say possible starter. Maybe I'll just do backup. I'll just do good backup. Yeah, let me make a new row, because that's kind of like, so add a row above. We're gonna put him in this row. It's just gonna be his backup. Yeah, he could just be backup. Colt McCoy. He started for a few teams in the past. I mean, I haven't seen him play again in a while either, so we're just gonna throw him in the backup. Cam. Now this is an interesting one for me. What Cam did we get last season? Was Cam injured? Was it a mental thing? Was it a combination of both? I mean, I still think he's got a little bit of gas in the tank, but am I willing to put him up in the Matt Ryan area? I'd have to say good backup, possible starter, because you gotta show me that you can come back from the injury or whatever was holding you back. If nothing was holding you back and you're just ass, I mean, you're just a good backup at this point, no? I mean, I'm sure there will be plenty of teams that would want Cam Newton as like a backup if he doesn't even return to form, but yeah. Andy Dalton. At one time, I was an Andy Dalton believer. I thought he was pretty dang good. I mean, I don't know how many of those days are left. I would not put him on the Matt Ryan tier. I'd say probably good backup, possible starter. I would have to see a little bit more, because I mean, that Cowboys team, it's not a world beater by any means, but they do have offensive talent. They have Ezekiel Elliott. They have the receiving core. I mean, Dak was putting up great fucking numbers. I apologize for my swearing. That's probably gonna be my one swear word for this video, but he was putting up great numbers with that team. So why couldn't Dalton do the same? What was Dalton missing? Tannehill. Now this one kind of hurts as a Bills fan because the Tannehill and the Titans like demolished us. Like nothing fits that game more than when Derrick Henry shoved Josh Norman to the ground. And I honestly think in like the last amount of games, he was like, do I want to put him in unstable elite? So what have you done for me lately? This is about what have you done for me and what you're currently doing for me. I'd have to put Tannehill in unstable elite for right now. I mean, if he can continue it, he might even be able to get back up to elite. I'm all for comeback stories. It's great. I'm just happy to see that he got a chance again. He's a former wide receiver, and he's obviously got the athleticism, but his accuracy and just the way that he plays the game now. I thought originally when he had the first splash with Tennessee, it was more of like a game manager thing, and that's basically what he was just an athletic game manager. Yeah, I mean, he's an unstable elite for me. So Russell Wilson, this one might ruffle Russell a few feathers, ha ha ha. But part of me wants to put him in elite, but like he started off as like the front runner for the MVP, and then he just fizzled out. So is let Russ cook a real thing, or is he just iffy? Because at the very least, his low is unstable elite, his high is elite. Do we put him in elite? I think he stays in unstable. You got to show me that you can overcome like the bad half of last season. You got to show me that you can overcome that, and I don't know. That's just all I gotta say. Case Keenum. I don't recall watching him play much recently, so I would have to probably just say backup for now. Possible starter, maybe. I would say he's flip-flopping between these. It would really depend on what Case Keenum you're getting. Teddy Bridgewater, I'd have to go good backup, possible starter. I mean, some part of him wants to put me in, or some part of me wants to put him in good, but I'm not. He's not as good as Matt Ryan to me. And we might even have to move Matt Ryan up to great. But like, is Matt Ryan actually great though? I would just say he's good. Welcome back to the stream, Charlie. Taylor Heineke is actually an interesting one for me. I'm gonna put at the beginning of good backup, possible starter. I liked what he did in Washington. To me, I would have gave him a shot. You got a young team. The team rallied around him. There was a bunch of players that were coming out and saying and showing their support for Taylor Heineke. Now, is that actual support and confidence in his abilities, or is that just them hungry for a signal caller that actually is half decent? I want Heineke to get more time. I believe he can be good, but like, what does my belief do if he doesn't show it? You know what I mean? Hopefully, because they had just signed Fitzpatrick, and I think Fitzpatrick is somewhere on this list probably. Yeah, I can't find him right now, but he's got to be on this list. Hopefully, if I know Heineke's like what 29, 30 now. And I mean, we've seen quarterbacks in the past like Rich Gannon have like a late career resurgence, and Kurt Warner like come out of the woodwork and be good again. So I mean, I'm hoping for Heineke. I really am. I think he could be a possible starter in the future. Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he did half decent when he was in New England, but again, this is if I were to put them on a team and see what they could do, I'd have to put Brissett in backup for now. Here's one that actually might ruffle a lot of feathers, and people are gonna call me a Bills homer for this, but Trubisky, while he's had the thing, because the thing came out where he's went in the bars and told them to turn the TV off when they were talking crap about him. I think he's a good backup, possible starter, especially if he sits behind Josh Allen and that offensive system, and he sits there and learns and does more mental processing. I mean, like everything from what I've seen, I mean, I like the dude aside from the fact that he couldn't take criticism, but if he learns to take criticism and pairs his athletic ability with like new mental processing, I believe he could start somewhere. These aren't necessarily in order, by the way, but if we were going to do an order, I'd put them here. But for the most part, these aren't going to be in order in the tiers until I get like to the end. Jared Goff. Now, people might hate me for like, I'm not going to put Goff in the good. I might actually. I'd put him at like low good, high good backup possible starter. See, he's got to show me what he could do pretty much by himself in Detroit now, because Kenny Galladay had left and he was in a decent offensive system with Sean McVay, and Sean McVay is one of the better offensive coaches in the league. We got to see what he could do without a good defense, because I don't know how good that Lions defense is going to be. And we got to see what he could do pretty much damn near on his own. So I don't even know who this is. I'm actually going to look it up. Is this, so who is there? Sorry about that. We're going to cut that out probably. I don't even know who that is, to be real. We're going to do a new window real quick. Panthers QB. Philip Walker. I've never heard of him. I'm going to put him in bad backup, send help, because somebody needs to get on. Actually, I'm going to put him in who, because who isn't even necessarily an indication of their skill. It's about how much I know them, because, you know, this being my tier list. But yeah, that's just how I feel. Baker, another one that people might be ruffled on. I'll put him on the same tier as, because for him to get to great, which he might even be, so high tier Baker is great. Low tier Baker / middle tier Baker is on the level of a Matt Ryan to me. I need Baker to show me more, especially considering how many weapons they have in that Cleveland offense, especially now. They got literally like 2 great running backs, a good amount of receivers, I'm pretty sure a great line. Their offense is just tailor-made for him to be good, and a great coach, and their defense isn't that bad. So I mean, the Browns might be making a comeback. The Browns to the Super Bowl jokes might actually have some weight, but if he could show me a little bit more, like if his skill can match his confidence, he'll get up to great and maybe even unstable elite at one point. Nick Mullins, I'll just put in backup for now. I'm pretty sure this is Nick Mullins. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna put in backup for now. He might be able to be a possible starter at one point, but from the games that I remember, he wasn't that great. Yeah, if we're drafting a quarterback and you're drafting him in the late round, you're gonna want to take a shot on like a developmental player too, because like you're not gonna be confident in Nick Mullins as your starting quarterback. The dude that got bonked in the head by Myles Garrett, I think his name is Mason Rudolph. I know him more as the dude that got bonked in the head by his real name. We're going to do bad backup, send help, close to why are they still on the roster? Because especially if he said what Myles Garrett said he said, I mean, I don't think he should be on the roster. Deshaun Watson, what he did with a team with basically no weapons after DeAndre was sent away. Why couldn't he do that when DeAndre was there? It was like he was sending a message. I think I'm putting him in an unstable elite. A lot of people are going to say he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I also agree. I want to see him do more. I know people are going to be mad when I get to Josh Allen. I immediately put him into elite. But if I'm putting him on a team pretty much like the Texans with no quarterback, what can you do? And what'd they go, 3-13 or something like that? And I know his team was devoid of talent. He had no receiver. I would say, like, I want to put him in the middle here. But I'm going to split the difference and put him at the end of elite. Yeah, I'm going to put him at the end of elite. Mahomes, it's pretty much guaranteed that he is the first, if not one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You saw it in the Super Bowl game, even when his team was all, well, hurt and he had no line, he's getting chased. He's making amazing throws still. I mean, Mahomes is one of those players, one of those quarterbacks that you want to build around. He's got the blend of being young with having the talent. And there's now, I don't know how many quarterbacks in the league there are like that, and he's one of them for sure. Josh Rosen. Now, this bastard is as cocky as all hell. I believe he's got the talent. He's just always gotten into bad situations. I want to put him personally in good backup, possible starter. I'm going to throw him in backup until he shows a little bit more. Is this Jarrett Stidham, I think? I'm going to throw him in backup as well. Part of me wants to throw him in bad backup because I'm pretty sure he got benched when he had his chance. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw him in backup for now. The backup one's probably gonna be filled up because I'm too nice at points, and sometimes it's I don't know. Now, actually, let me put Baker and Great. And the reason why I'm gonna put Baker and Great is because I want to put Burrow at the head of good. He's like at the tip of great. I want to see more from Burrow, him to stay healthy, and I want to see what he could, because what he did without a line was tremendous in my opinion. I actually watched more Bengals games than I would like to admit, and I like Joe Burrow a lot. I think he's got a really bright future in this league. Daniel Jones, I mean, kind of want to put him in prospect wait and see, because like I still believe he might have talent. Danny Dimes, I don't want to be like a jerk and put him in possible starter, good backup. I'd put him on the level of Jared Goff. I'd put him in low good. I'd put him in low good. So Burrow's high good. I'd say Matt Ryan's like the standard for above average QB. Jared Goff is like medium low good, and then I'd put Daniel Jones in low good. If he could take another step, I'd put him probably just under Joe Burrow. Josh Allen. I'm a Bills fan. Everybody knows this. I'd put him. So I thought he deserved MVP this season. Part of that is the Bills fan in me, and then the other part of that is the analytical person in me. Yes, he's in a pass happy system. Yes, he didn't really have a running game to lean on, so his numbers looked probably better than they would be if he wasn't as leaned on as heavily. But I believe he's probably the second or third best quarterback in terms of like, because I need to see more from him. So as a Bills fan, yes, I'm happy that we have one of the top quarterbacks in the game. As a realist, as somebody that has literally this whole list has been like, I need to see more from them. I need to see more from Josh Allen before I put him on the level of Mahomes. I know this isn't supposed to be about past accomplishments or how much he's improved over year to year. It doesn't matter. If you put these quarterbacks on a team, how confident are you that you're going to call them any of these tiers? I would say he's middle high elite. I would say he's definitely a top 5 QB. I would even wager to say he's top 3, and he's probably not 3. He's second or third just on talent alone. My heart wants to put him at first, believe me, but second or third, I would say, maybe even fourth is the more realistic one, in my opinion. I think if he takes another step, he can definitely challenge Mahomes for best quarterback in the league. He just needs to keep growing. Jordan Love. Now, Aaron Rodgers has a stranglehold on the dang Packers starting job. He's trying to go out like Favre went out with the Packers, and that's pretty much all he knows anyway. So I mean, Jordan Love is a prospect wait and see. We didn't really get to see much of him, so yeah, we'll just go with that. Minshew Mania. Now, he's a lot better than I think people give him credit. His team wasn't great, and he was still doing okay. I mean, there are games where he could have definitely played better. I'd put him in good backup, possible starter. I'd even put him like above Cam Newton, in my opinion. I think if you were to put Minshew on the Patriots, he would do better than Newton did. They'd maybe even be a playoff team with Minshew. I'd put him below Trubisky for the simple fact that Trubisky's young and has like a lot of talent. I mean, Heineke is still at the top of possible starter for me, because like I still have high hopes for him, and I think he has a lot of potential if you were to put him on the team and give him trust. I mean, what Haskins are we getting? Are we getting the troubled Haskins that's not putting any effort into football and cares more about strip clubs? Because if so, he would be on the wire. They're still on the roster. If we're going to Haskins, where you want to believe in his skill, he'd be good backup, possible starter. If we're getting a middle of the if we're getting like the in between, I'd go backup. But in terms of like his legal problems and just his attitude, I'd put him on why are they still on the roster, because I feel like if he went from where he did, where he was drafted pretty high and he was expected to be like a half decent quarterback, if he were to be kicked off a roster and cut like more than he's already been cut, I feel like it would humble him, and it could do one of two things: he'd have a downward spiral, or he'd fight back and use like his talents, his latent talents. I'm gonna do why are they still on the roster for him. He'll be the first person there. Jalen Hurts, I would definitely put on the prospect wait and see. I don't think we saw enough of Jalen Hurts. He's had flashes. He's had a bad game. I think we just need to see what he's got. Tua, I'm also going to put either... I'll put him on the level of Daniel Jones. Him and Fitzpatrick right here were like going back and forth with the starting job. I think if he takes another step forward, he'll be on the low for good. But I'll put him in the high for prospect wait and see. Just because I think he needs to take, for one, another step forward. Two, he needs to I think he needs to play. For all the rookie quarterbacks, we're just going to get out of the way and put them in prospect wait and see. I'll talk about them in a minute after I find all of them. It's pretty much going to be everybody that's like not in a regular jersey. I'll rank them here in a minute after I find and put all of them in there. I'll probably miss one or two. I'm going to assume this is a rookie. I don't know what rookie this is. Well, I'm not even going to say his name because, again, I'm not even going to assume who it is. I don't know who it is. I don't know who this guy is either. I feel pretty bad for not knowing any of these people. I know this is Trace McSorley because, you know, reasons. But for me, I'm going to rank them. I'm actually going to rank them all. Actually, I'll make another tier. I'll do, because prospect wait and see. Rookie. I'll do rookies row. Oh shit, I put this prospect. We'll do rookies as their own little row. And then we'll describe who I think is gonna have like the best. So I think, to me, Trevor Lawrence is like an Andrew Luck type of prospect. He's gonna come in, he's gonna be good, he's gonna have a straight baseline. We just have to see how good he's going to be, what his ceiling is, because like his floor is going to be pretty high, at least in my opinion. We never know what can happen tomorrow. He could get injured. He could not have the mental makeup that we thought he had. It's just a rookie thing. You need to wait and see. Zach Wilson, in terms of potential and athleticism and just straight talent, I think he's second out of the rookie quarterbacks. I think actually it's pretty close to me in terms of like top 3/4. Justin Fields, I'd say, because there's a lot of stuff saying he's got like arrogance issues and he's overconfident and he's kind of a jerk and stuff like that. But I mean, you kind of have to be a jerk as a quarterback to be. You have to have, like, I wouldn't say a chip on your shoulder, but like you got to be confident and know like you're the leader, you're the alpha. You have to put that on display. I mean, you can be kind of less dickish about it, but at the same time, I like Justin Fields' like potential. In terms of potential, I would say that Trey Lance is like, because if Zach Wilson were 1A to Lawrence's 1, I'd say potential wise, Trey Lance is up there. Currently, though, I'd say he's the worst out of the 4. But in terms of potential, I'd say he's up there. This list is literally 1 through 4 is like exchangeable. So I think Mac Jones has a low floor, but I also don't think his ceiling's as high as these guys. I'd say he's like in the tier 2 behind these guys. I don't know who the heck this is, so I don't know why he's in the rookies. So I'll just put who. I also put this guy in the who. I apologize if these guys are quarterbacks that I'm supposed to know. But if this guy's a rookie, he's got potential, obviously. But we have to wait and see. Alex Smith, I think he's in backup. I think he retired, I am pretty sure. So technically, should I put them on? Why are they still on the roster? I'll just throw him on backup. I think he'd be a possible starter if he were to be still playing. He's a very low-end starter, high-end backup, in my opinion. I'd just throw him at backup. Rodgers. I think Rodgers is still playing some of his best football. Now, do I think he's in a system that is making his job easier and he's got a lot of talent around him? Yes. Do I still think he needs more help? Yes. I still think he's doing a lot with the weapons that are around him. I'd even possibly put him in front of Allen if I were doing like a career thing. But in terms of like talent and like where they're at now, I'd put him behind Allen, I think. Gonna probably upset a lot of people. But just know that him and Allen flip-flop for now. And I'm just gonna put him in third for now in terms of like who am I putting on the team and how much are they doing. Cause Allen was also in the pass happy system, and I can't really, I don't know, bro. Flacco didn't really have a lot of help. I've never been a huge Flacco fan. I think he was a low end starting quarterback when he was at his height, in my opinion, / middle. He won a Super Bowl though, but that's in the past. I would say bad backups send help. He didn't have a lot of help on the Jets, but when he did play, he didn't exactly carry them or anything. I can't remember this guy's name, but I think he's half decent. I'd put him at the top of backup because he's got a lot of potential. I think I could possibly put him in good backup, possible starter, but I need to see more. Again, I don't know who this guy is. I probably should. I probably heard of him, but I don't know. Nick Foles. This man is like Ryan Fitzpatrick if Ryan Fitzpatrick didn't have half decent years or like good half seasons. Foles has been living off the Super Bowl / like basically he's been living off of like the past, and every now and then he'll have a good game where you're like, oh my god, Nick Foles is actually pretty good, he's a savior. I wouldn't say he's a possible starter. I'd put him in backup, and I'd probably put him like right here for backup. Taysom Hill, I mean, he's older, obviously. And would I put him on the same thing as Danny Dimes? No. I need to see more snaps at QB for Taysom Hill. I'd put him high prospect. I'll put him extremely low good. You need to show me. You need to show me more playing time, more snaps at QB before anything else. I'm still a believer in Tyrod Taylor. I like Tyrod Taylor a lot, former Bill. I'll put him at the end of good backup, possible starter. I still think he's got a good amount of gas in the tank. Drew Lock. So, developmental QB, he's getting on the older side now. With Teddy Bridgewater going there, I believe. Do we believe, because Bridgewater would be good backup, possible starter. Do we believe Drew Lock still has potential for wait and see, or do we give up on him and put him at a good backup, possible starter? Because everybody has a chance to bounce back, you know what I mean? And speaking of bouncing back, Darnold didn't have a lot of help in New York on the Jets. A good amount of that was he was seeing ghosts. He even said it himself when he came out one time. I think he's a good backup, possible starter. I even think he still has prospect wait and see potential. I'm going to put him at the top, a good backup, possible starter. Because if he can show out and his potential shines through, I think he can be really good. We're getting near the end of this list now. I'm actually glad, because now I can just keep working and working. I'm a big believer that Fitzpatrick plays really well, gets a payday, and then just slacks his ass off. I kind of want to put him like on the low end good tier for the simple fact that I think the Dolphins had like 11 wins. And a lot of people didn't realize that. I want to, like, so as his career, I'd put him as good backup, possible starter. But what he did for the Dolphins last year, what have you done for me lately? I'd put for the good, at the end of good. I can't remember his name. I almost said Jamarcus Russell. Jameis Winston. Um, I'd go good backup, possible starter. I'd go like the middle, like Trubisky. He's got potential. Is the eye surgery gonna help him? Is he less immature now? If Taysom Hill either goes down to injury or doesn't play well, if he comes in and plays well, is it the system or is it Jameis? Same can kind of go for Mariota. I still like Mariota a good amount. I'd put him like on the tier of like a Cam Newton slash Minshew. If he does well, is it because of Gruden's system or whoever's system, or is it because he's actually having a resurgence? He's got a lot of athleticism, or a good amount of athleticism still. Steelers are kind of a... So you can only play people that are on your schedule, and you can't blame the Steelers for being optimistic about how their record was, but he has a good amount of weapons besides like a running game. I mean, I'd have to put him on the same level because he's obviously not great. Like before, if we're going career-wise, Big Ben would be kind of like in the gray area. He's won Super Bowls, obviously. I'd put him on the same level. He's more I'd put him on the level of Matt Ryan. Is he Big Ben anymore? No, but neither is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's not Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, and Big Ben's not Big Ben. So this is kind of like the buffer. So it goes Joe Burrow, and then like tier 2 of good, and then like everybody else. Carson Wentz, I believe yips are real, and if he can get rid of the yips, because I kind of went through that with basketball in my life. If he can get rid of the yips and go back to like his potential of being a high round pick, he'll be really good. I appreciate you, Caesar. Thank you for having me tabbed. If he goes back to like even a little bit of his potential, I believe he could be good backup, possible starter. I'd even put a he was the MVP. Did he win MVP? I can't remember. I'll have to look that up right now. I'd put him at the very end of good. Cause like what he'd do for the Eagles, he got benched for a rookie. Maybe like I want to put him in good backup, possible starter, but he's like in that. Yeah, because what have you done for me and what have you shown me? I put him at the beginning. I'll put him like in the Darnold tier. Actually, kind of want to look. Did he win MVP? I keep doing that. I'm gonna just cut some of this stuff out. New window. Did he almost win MVP or did he actually win MVP? Oh, he was a favorite to win MVP. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, that clears it up for me. Jimmy Garoppolo, I was never a fan. I always thought his potential was overhyped. Bill Belichick got a killing off it. I'd still call him a good backup, possible starter for the right team. I'd even put him in backup for now. Until he can prove he's a high tier backup, not a good backup or a possible starter though. If he can just keep showing it, he'll show it. I think Derek Carr is on the tier, slightly below the tier of these last few guys. I think there's a lot of mid-tier quarterbacks, like purgatory quarterbacks, I'll call them. Speaking of, we got this guy, Kirk Cousins, Captain Kirk's nipples. As far as what I think Stafford will do with the Rams, I think he's in like middle of good. He's, in my opinion, he's on the tier of Matt Ryan, Big Ben, and just above Jared Goff. I think he's going to be great. I think he just needed a team built around him. I think the first few years he was spoiled with Megatron and he didn't really like develop. But after Megatron left, he was like, holy crap, I need to learn how to do more than just throw up to a triple covered receiver that catches everything. But I think he's got a lot of talent. Herbert, what he did is one of the best rookie seasons. Nobody saw it because all they did was throw screens at Oregon. I'd put him above Jared Goff. I'd put him in between Goff and Stafford. I need to see more before I put him in the great or anything. I think he's right below Baker in my opinion, but in terms of like realistically speaking, I think this is a good spot for him. Lamar, I'd put in the top of great. I like, what do you want in a quarterback? You want a quarterback that can consistently win you the game with his arm. Lamar is unstable elite, probably even above Tannehill in their system. But in terms of my opinion, he's at the top of great. If he could show that he could win more games with his arm and they do a little more to help him, like put more talent around him, I think he's good. The general consensus is, like I said, he's at unstable elite. I still think he can be a great quarterback. I love Lamar. I love his personality. I'm putting him at top of great. Tom Brady. Again, I think he's the GOAT quarterback. He trampled all over our division for 20 dang years and terrorized my Bills. I got a little respect for him. I used to hate him. I'd say he's at unstable elite now. I'd say he's in the middle of Wilson and what's it called? I'd even put Wilson. So this is literally interchangeable, this whole unstable elite tier, part of it being unstable. I think he's definitely lost a step, so to speak. He's not as, doesn't have like the arm talent, and he looks rushed sometimes. He looks like he's putting like his whole body in the throws. But there are times where the real Tom came through this season. And I mean, he's got a lot of talent around him, and he's got a good coaching staff, and he has a great defense. And everybody always says he gets carried by his elite defenses. And there was a game where he threw 3 picks in the playoffs, I believe. And I still think he's the GOAT quarterback, and I still think he's an unstable elite for the simple fact that his lows go down to like great, and his highs, he can even go to like low elite tier still. If he comes out swinging and he shows that he's still got the talent, I think him cutting loose and going to Tampa was the best thing for his career, because he's not like robotic. It's like a girl that's been stuck in a relationship that was with a controlling person that made them be who they weren't for the longest time. And now that he's cutting loose and he's happy, he's like having fun with his team and posting on social media more than ever and stuff like that. I'm happy for him. I really am. Dak, I'd say unstable elite. I've been known as a Dak hater in the past. Like before, I'd put him at like because even still, I believe he's like at the top tier of great. He was flip-flopping MVP candidate talks in the beginning of the season before he got hurt. I'd put him in this tier. Like, again, this tier is literally interchangeable. He's right below elite. If he could take another step forward to where he's winning games based off of him and not just the talent around him. I mean, there were games where Zeke didn't do a dang thing and Dak was still putting up like, what, 400 yards? I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I kind of like me some Dak, some dinking and dacking. Now, we're going to get to somebody that I think is heavily overrated. He's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong. And that's why there's a good tier. I think he is around Herbert level. He's like right above Herbert right now, or on par with him. Again, he needs to show me more, just like Herbert does. I don't think he cracks through these 3. I think talent-wise, he's better than these 3. I'd say, because you can even, like, depending on the day, depending on how he plays, you might even be able to put him above Baker. But I think on a baseline for right now, until he shows more, he's literally, he could be from here to here, and I'd say him and Herbert are interchangeable until either of them show me more. Now, here we go with the QBs. I mean, San Francisco's got a lot of backups. I think this is CJ Beathard or Beathard or whatever. Did he play better than Nick Mullins? Like some of these backups, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know who this dude is. I'm gonna put a Nahu, RG3. He's technically a good backup to Lamar. They got similar play styles. Chad Henne. He saved the Chiefs in the one game where he had to come in the playoffs, I think. I would have to just say backup. He's pretty much like at the end a good backup. I wouldn't say he's a possible starter, but I'd say if he comes in, I mean, he's not super terrible. Mike Glennon, why are they still on the roster? This Allen kid, I wouldn't put him up to Heineke levels, but I mean, I'd love to see him get a little bit more of a chance. I'll just throw him in regular backup. Trace McSorley, he's more of a meme than anything. I'll just throw him in backup. And Jake Fromm, I'm gonna put at bad backup. And yeah, that's my tier list. I'm glad everybody stuck through my whole video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is gonna be back. I'm gonna be back on my grind for YouTube. I love everybody for supporting me. If you want to see more videos, just drop the likes. The likes help with the algorithm. Thank you for watching this far. If you guys watched this far, please, I don't know, in the comments, put, trying to think. Put hashtag be heroic in the comments if you watch this far. And if you do, I really do thank you. Yeah, my year straight stream streak is done, and I'm just glad to be moving on to another chapter of my life. It's gonna be heavily having YouTube involved and TikToks and stuff like that. But yeah, everybody drop a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what video ideas you want to see next in the comments. I'll think about it. We'll maybe even do a few collabs, get back on the interviews. But yeah, this is my tier list. Everybody have a good rest of your day, and Panek out.